of anger, and it happens to no one. But then there is this possibility of suppression, detachment, and denial of somebody being there. You know, it seems in a way also a bit similar.
Sorry?
Well, I cannot say it's...
Oh, in the story, detachment.
Yeah, in the story, detachment, suppression, and denial of that one, you know.
Okay, so that's in the story, that's what can happen.
Yeah.
And after liberation, there is no story, there is no... Liberation is nothing to do with detachment or denial. Nothing is denial, nothing is detached. All there is what is. There isn't anything to be detached from what is, because there is only what is. Well, denial and detachment are being separate from something. You have to have something separate to deny or be detached from something.
Okay, yeah.
After the one is gone, and there's liberation, can there also be deliberation and the one comes back?
No, there was never anything there in the first place. Liberation is the sudden end of there ever being anything. Time, past, future. It's the end of time.
But the time can come back, no?
Well, how would it come back if it's the end of time? If there is nothing left, how can anything come back to nothing?
Who knows?
When it went away, then it can come back?
No, it didn't, but that's the whole... This is the awful part about this. The realisation of liberation, or the recognition, is that there was never anything happening. Liberation is the recognition that there was never anything happening. It's only the individual that thinks individuality and the story and separation is happening. And that's the problem for the individual who thinks that separation is happening, because the individual believes or hopes it will come to an end. It doesn't come to an end because it was never there.
For example, some years ago... Maybe
Did you hear any of that?
when you were younger, you had a different feeling about yourself. And if you now have a car crash, you get an accident, you lose your part of the brain, you don't remember all this, that you had this talk.
What's that got to do with what we're talking about here?
It's his theory.
We're not talking about car accidents and psychiatric imbalance. We're just talking about life. So
yeah,
liberation.
That's also life. I mean,
yes, it is.
Then you lose your memory of all the changes you went through.
No, it isn't the end of memory.
Then
this isn't the end. No, this isn't the end of the memory of something. It's the end of the idea that there was anything ever happening. All that's left is the infinite.
Oh, is it?
Maybe I can't really...
It's no. What you're talking about is another state, which is the state of losing your memory. This is in the story. Liberation is absolutely beyond the story. It's the realization that there never was a story and there never was separation.
It's a realization. So realization sounds to me like an act. Like
it certainly is. At the point of liberation, there is a recognition or a realization that there never was anything happening.
So that's like you learn something, like you...
No, it's a point. You could even say, if you want to be absolutely perfect about this, that just prior to liberation, there's a point when it's realised there was never anything happening. After that, there's nothing left.
So if I think of the pyramids, so what you're saying,
the
pyramids, Egypt.
Oh, the pyramid, yeah.
Pyramids. So they have never been constructed. What you're saying is they just happen. If I look at them, they happen right now.
If you go look at them, that's what is.
Or if I think about them, then it's happening in that
thinking
moment.
about the pyramids is what is.
And you're saying the whole construction 3,000 years ago, that's basically a story.
What else?
Sorry about that. And he's quite right, it's absolutely crazy.
I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah. you heard about the opera neutrino?
The which neutrino?
Go and find out about it, and that will show you that already the whole idea that there were pyramids is just another fanciful belief. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of. We're only just beginning to realise how multi-dimensional, even beyond dimension, this whole thing is. We think it's all so real, it's so sweet, we really believe that there were dinosaurs, and the scientists testing the bone of a dinosaur is proving that it lived 4,000 years ago. The scientists
4,000 years.
testing the dinosaur is what is.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's the infinite, pretending to be a story about the dinosaur. I tell you, energy, nothing is brilliant. Nothing is absolute genius at presenting and creating all sorts of amazing stories. It's all magic. It all means nothing.